Good evening. This is CTV News. I'm Patricia Ballone. Well, Prince George's County leads the state in the number of traffic fatalities, according to new 2022 data released today. The sobering statistic was released as Maryland debuts its new interactive crash data dashboard during its annual Highway Safety Summit. Transportation Secretary Paul Wiedefeld joined State Police Superintendent Roland Butler and other partners to announce the 2022 preliminary numbers of fatalities on Maryland roadways. Prince George's led the state with 100 fatal collisions in 2022.
While the new dashboard is an innovative tool, we must never forget that every single piece of data represents a person: a mother, a father, a child, a grandparent, a friend, or a coworker. This is why MDOT's top priority is safety. While we already noted last year's numbers, I must tell you, unfortunately, already this year we have lost 146 people.
Speed, aggressive driving, distracted driving continue to be the leading causes of crashes we see throughout our state. These dangerous driving behaviors have the highest potential for ever changing a life in a matter of seconds. Highway tragedies like the recent I-695 crash in Baltimore County that claimed the lives of 6 highway workers haunt all of us who work hard every day to keep Marylanders safe on our highways.
A statewide effort known as the Strategic Highway Safety Plan aims to eliminate the number of traffic fatalities and serious injuries by 2030. Well, one of the more significant bills that were signed into law yesterday by Governor Wes Moore was the Child Victims Act of 2023. The measure has been a major priority of Charles County Delegate C.T. Wilson, himself a victim of child abuse for 8 years. It was an emotional moment in the governor's reception room yesterday as the bill was signed into law. Here is some of what C.T. Wilson had to say.
I thank all the survivors that came up year after year and told their stories. They had the audacity to get their hopes up just to be derided and dismissed by this very body. This bill at the end will not undo years of suffering, but maybe it'll give us hope, make us better people. But I want you to know that I have tried. And I am trying, and I will continue to try, not just to change this world, but to be a better person. This is as good as I can get, but I'll never stop trying. Thank you very much.
And the law lifts the statutory time limits, allowing survivors to sue their abusers or organizations that enabled them at any time. Another measure signed into law yesterday is aimed at making prescription drugs more affordable. HB 279 and SB 202 extend the power of the state's Prescription Drug Affordability Board. Healthcare advocate Vinnie DeMarco says the board is the first of its kind in the nation. It's tasked with making prescription drugs more affordable to Marylanders.
Is this thing on? Yep. Okay, so which bills were yours and your thoughts about?
This is House Bill 279, Senate Bill 202, which confirm and extend for a long time the powers of the Prescription Drug Affordability Board. This board is the first of its kind in the nation to make high-cost drugs more affordable for Marylanders. They now have all the authority they need to make high-cost drugs more affordable for state and local governments, and we believe they're going to do.
And the board was created by legislation in 2019. A Prince George's County Council member introduces a bill that would pause the development of townhomes in certain communities. Vice Chair Walla Blagay is sponsoring Council Bill 52. The measure would temporarily suspend the building of townhouses outside of areas designated for medium to high density development. Blagay says the pause would only be for 2 years and would not impact the development of single-family homes.
Prince George's County has a huge infrastructure issue where we're putting dense communities in places that they're not really intended for. And what it's leading to is concerns of people feeling that we don't have the infrastructure and even amenities to support them. So right now, this will allow us to focus our dense development and actually push the developers in the community to focus in on development in dense communities.
And Blagay says the bill now goes to the Planning, Housing, and Economic Development Committee. A Baltimore man has been arrested for the fatal shooting of a grandmother in Capitol Heights. The shooting occurred here in the 600 block of Drum Avenue on March 28th. 62-year-old Lydia Chinchilla de Carrillo was visiting the area from El Salvador that night when she was shot. Authorities say she was an innocent bystander caught in the crossfire between suspects. The suspect, now in custody, has been identified as Troy Medley of Baltimore. The 36-year-old has been charged with first and second-degree murder. Well, several townhomes go up in flames in Bowie today. The blaze broke out this afternoon in the 4,000 block of Easer Terrace. No injuries have been reported, but there are 2 residents who have been displaced. No word yet on the cause of this fire. And you are watching CTV News. I'm Patricia Vallone. We'll be back in just a moment.
We had water that was coming up around the houses, and all of a sudden it was just a huge white wall of water that came right at us. And then it was a white after that. You couldn't see anything, nothing at all. We can build these houses in order to withstand 130-mile-an-hour winds. We cannot build them to stop water.
Welcome back. The Environmental Protection Agency announces a pair of proposals to dramatically cut auto emissions and spur the industry toward full electrification. The first set of proposed standards would target emissions from passenger cars, vans, and light trucks. The second batch would apply to heavy-duty vehicles such as delivery trucks, dump trucks, and buses.
Together, today's actions will accelerate our ongoing transition to a clean vehicles future, tackle the climate crisis head-on, and improve air quality for communities all across the country. Light, medium, and heavy-duty vehicles are some of the biggest contributors to greenhouse gas pollution.
Now is the time to accelerate clean transportation. Second, increasing access to clean transportation is a life and death matter for many communities that have been disproportionately impacted by transportation emissions.
The EPA says if finalized, the rules would lead to the electrification of 2/3 of new cars and 50% of heavy-duty vehicles by 2032. It would also cut 10 billion tons of CO2 emissions through 2055. Well, the lynching of Black people is a painful part of Prince George's and American history. This weekend, the county plans to remember a man who was hung more than 100 years ago. The Prince George's County Lynching Memorial Project, along with its partners, is hosting a community remembrance event this Saturday, April 15th. The event, which will take place at Harmony Hall Arts Center, will honor the life of Thomas Jurix, a Black man lynched by a masked white mob back in October of 1869. According to officials, Jurix's lynching was the first documented in the county. Councilmember Jolene Ivey says although there are only 4 recorded lynchings in Prince George's, there were probably more.
Lynchings were a huge part of racial terrorism in our county and in our country, and until all Americans acknowledge it and realize how wrong it was, we're not going to be able to move forward.
Racial terror lynchings were just that. They were done to terrorize the community, the Black community in particular, to create feelings of insecurity and being unsafe, and to silence them. And so we want that silence to end so that we all can work together towards creating a more just system here in Prince George's County.
And Beatty says there are also plans for a Jurix Memorial plaque. Again, the event will take place this Saturday at the Harmony Hall Arts Center from 1 until 3 p.m. Well, College Park residents, now is the time to hear from those people who are running for the city's top job. 2 upcoming candidate forums for the mayoral special election will be held this week. The first is tonight at 7:30 at the City Hall Council Chambers. The debate will be sponsored by the Yarrow and College Park Estates Civic Associations. The second forum is Saturday, April 15th at 1 p.m. It will take place at Davis Hall on 51st Avenue. The event will also be broadcast live on the city's Facebook page. Just 7% of Prince George's high school students were proficient in geometry in 2022, a 60-point drop since 2019. According to the most recent Comprehensive Assessment Program results, or MCAP, county students also saw a nearly 33 percentage point decrease in Algebra 1 proficiency. English language arts improved slightly in the county, but remains among the lowest in the state. 11 people have been indicted for a prison contraband conspiracy at the Maryland Jessup Correctional Institution. According to officials, an investigation uncovered heroin, Suboxone, an Apple Watch, and data shortage cards in 2 inmate cells. Now, the indictment also alleges that a nurse contractor working at the prison was smuggling drugs. The nurse reportedly received more than $92,000 in fees for trafficking the items. Governor Wes Moore is on his way to his first international trade mission. The Democrat is visiting the United Kingdom today through Friday. Moore is attending the Skoll World Forum and will participate in trade meetings with business and government leaders. Still to come here, we'll have Sports Talk with Simon Buggs. Stay with us.
Hey there, sports fans, and coming up soon, I'll be talking about 3 great baseball games that were played yesterday. Stay right there, you don't want to miss it.
World-class training isn't just for leaders well on their way. It's for the ones just getting their footing. Seasoned pros learn through real-world experience. But so do young cadets. No other career path gives you leadership instruction that's so tested, so successful, so early. Decide to lead as an Army officer.
What's going on, everybody? It's time for your Wednesday sports page. We'll start with some local baseball. The Laurel High School baseball team matched up against Flowers High School yesterday. Flowers has started the season off slow as they are 1-3 going into the game. Number 2, Mark Harrison Jr., who played for Flowers, had multiple highlights including a stolen base, and he also made a good catch on a deep ball. Laurel also made some good plays during the game. Number 18 for the Spartans, Brandon Allen, made a nice tag on Flowers player Brian Skinner Jr. as he tried to advance to third base. Another nice play was made by number 8 Victor Jovel with a nice hit to left field. In the end, the Jags will fall to the Spartans by a final score of 6-1. The Flowers baseball team will face off next against Eleanor Roosevelt at home today at 4:30, while Laurel plays against Duval High School at home at 4:30 as well. Switching to professional baseball, the Orioles won their second straight game yesterday, beating the Oakland Athletics 12-8. The game will be close throughout the first 5 innings, with the A's leading 7-6. But the Birds will play well on both sides of the ball the last 4 innings and scored 6 times to take the win. The Orioles and Athletics will match up again tonight at 6:35. Meanwhile, the Nationals fell to the Angels last night in a low-scoring game, 2-0. The Nats' inability to score was largely due to Angels pitcher Shohei Ohtani, who allowed only 1 hit over 7 innings. The Nats and Angels are back on a diamond this afternoon. And that is your Wednesday sports page. Simon Buggs, CTV Sports.
Thanks, Simon. And now let's get a quick check on our 3-day weather forecast. Tonight, clear with a low around 58. Thursday, sunny, highs near 87. Friday, mostly sunny with a high near 85. Saturday, mostly cloudy with showers expected and a low around 77. Now for your community calendar, relax and listen to the soulful music from the Urban Guerrilla Orchestra. The Philadelphia group, also known as UGO, will be performing at Harmony Hall April 22nd at 8 p.m. The orchestra has been featured across the world and is the official band of the Soul Train Cruise. Get your tickets today through parksdirect.com. And that wraps up CTV News. I'm Patricia Ballone. Have a great night.